So I was married to a narcissist for 12 years. To make things worse, I actually have to co-parent with a narcissist. And to add an extra layer of complexity with that, and our child lives with the narcissist. Welcome to my world. I want to talk about how you can probably spot a narcissist. I'm here to save you some of the heartache and the headaches because y'all don't got to go through what I have gone through because I'm sharing real life examples. This video is not for me to diagnose your partner. You can absolutely use these as discussion points in your own relationship or your future relationship to say, hey, how do you feel about XYZ? Okay, come from a place of curiosity. Towards the end of the video, I want to go over what can you now do about it. If this is the first time to my channel, y'all, I am VEE Mindful. I'm a certified relationship coach where I talk about everything related to relationships. Ultimately, y'all, because I thoroughly believe in we can use travel to get to know our partner. So I'm out here catching flights and feelings, but in order to do so, y'all, we got to remove these blocks of standing in the way, these attachment style issues, the masculine feminine imbalance, communication issues, whatever we got going on in our lives, because ultimately, look, we trying to get out here and live our lives, the one life that the universe, God has given us. We got married 20 years ago. Okay. We stayed married 12 years. I'm going to give you some clues and then I'm going to match it with an actual real life story. This truly happened to either me or my clients, mainly me. I don't need to go down to what has happened to my clients. I got enough stories. You think I ain't got enough stories over 12 years? Shoot. But if you would like to hear somebody else's story, I do have a video and I will link it in the description below where I interviewed one of my clients that I actually have known for a very long time. But when I knew her, I had no idea that she was going through all that. As she started to finally go through her divorce, then I learned so much more. And then we got her to a place of being at peace. So please check out her video because it is one that may resonate with you as well. When I was married, y'all, I had no idea what a narcissist was. Remember, 20 years ago, we weren't really talking about narcissists. Now, everywhere you look, it's narcissist, narcissist. And I'm going to tell you, everybody isn't a narcissist. Okay, maybe they have some personality disorders, and maybe they never learned how to share. Maybe they never learned how to communicate. I just thought I was married to an asshole. And I can distinctly remember that my father told me after, look, this is after I got married, after he was getting divorced. My father said, I tried to stop you from marrying him at your rehearsal dinner. My rehearsal dinner, we about to get married tomorrow. You talking about you trying to stop, you trying to stop me at my rehearsal dinner. But my parents saw things, and my parents have been married 51 years. They're still happily married. My parents saw things in my ex-husband that I honestly couldn't see. It's like when you're in the mess, you don't really see it, but maybe your girlfriends or your guy friends see it or your parents. So if you're automatically even feeling like something isn't right, y'all pay attention to your intuition. It is God's gift to you. Tip number one, or hint number one, there is no civil conversation. There is no civil conversation. You can have all the desire in the world, in your mind, it sounds so logical, right? In their mind, if it's something that's going to benefit you, and especially, let's say I'm divorced now. We were very friendly through our divorce. Our relationship today has been pretty terrible, pretty darn terrible. About a year ago, he and his now he has a new wife, right? They went on vacation. I live off the Interstate 95 in Virginia. They went to vacation in South Carolina. He lives in the state above me. Above Virginia is Maryland. Well, besides DC. From vacation, I said, well, since our son is now coming back to my house, how about you just meet me off the interstate in Virginia? He lives an hour and a half away from me. He got upset at my trying to change the plans. I was just trying to say, since you're logically passing by me, then you might as well just stop and I will just get them from you. That way you don't have to take them all the way to Maryland. In his mind, said no, because the way the narcissist thinks, they're not going to do things to benefit you. If anything, they'll do the opposite. They'll do things to make your life harder. He drove right by. He didn't communicate that he was not going to stop. So I was waiting. He did not communicate that to me at all. And my son is like, Mom, are you coming to get me? Are you coming to get me? And I was like, can you please put your dad on the phone? And then at that time period, he had already passed my exit. He said, no, if you want to, you come all the way to my house. So I had to drive the 3 hours, an hour and a half up and an hour and a half back down. And my son had to take the extra 3 hour ride as well, just to prove a point to my narcissistic ex husband. And in your mind, again, it sounds logical, right? Like I said, a conversation is not a conversation, but please understand that in their mind, it just doesn't work that way. It's only to benefit them. However, if it does not benefit them and it benefits only you, then it's no longer logical. Then it's stupid. All right, my hint number two, y'all. No matter what evidence you may have, it doesn't matter. They are always in the right. They are always in the right. And there's nothing you could be what was that TV show? Jackie Gleason, whatever. That's probably okay. For you old folks, y'all know what I'm talking about. But you could be the best attorney in the world. I promise you. You are never going to be right. They're always going to be right. And they may even use guilt or shame to prove that they are right. When you go through that enough, you will start to think that you're crazy. Maybe I didn't see him and her butt naked laying on in my bed under the covers with the curtains closed. Maybe I saw something else. They are so good at proving that they're right. They might even make you question, did you see what you saw? Y'all must get your popcorn out at this point because I'm sharing real life tips that I may not even all shared with my girlfriends when we were dating. And this should have been a red flag. So if you were dating somebody, you're not even yet married to a narcissist, y'all, look, just don't. Okay, just don't. We were about to go on vacation. I was actually coming to his house to pick him up so we can head to the airport. I go to pick him up. I'm waiting in his bedroom, and I'm not the type, I am not a nosy person. I could tell you because my daddy's always said, if you go looking for trouble, you're going to find it. So, one thing about me, I don't like to go through anybody's stuff. So, it was out there clear as day, is evident. He had a condom on his dresser. I pointed it out. Why do you have a condom on your dresser? Long story short, we end up going to the airport. The whole time, I'm not when I can get upset, I'll be quiet for a little bit because I'm processing things. But he took that at like I'm being combative and all that. But no, I'm just sitting here quiet. So the more I did not give in to me being, I guess, like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. The more I didn't give into that, the more upset he got. So by the time we got to the airport, he backed out of the trip. You ever tell a story, you be like, "What the hell? What in the world did I deal with?" Yes, he backed out of the trip. And I was sitting there at the airport, like, and he started calling other friends and said, "Hey, they're just gonna meet you in this city that we're about to fly to. I'm not going with you because I had no right to be upset. He just wanted to move past it, and then he started blaming me and trying to make me feel guilty that I'm messing up the vacation. I'm doing all of these things. He didn't had no accountability, nothing. He just pushed his guilt and his shame on me and tried to make me feel a certain type of way. So if you ever been in that situation, I'm gonna tell you right now, you might as well probably have been or are dating or narcissists because they have a really good way of flipping things onto you to where you're gonna sit there, scratch your head, be like, hey, maybe I didn't see a condom. Maybe that condom actually said little Bozo the Clown balloon. Maybe he was making balloon animals for his little cousins. Hint number three that you might be dating a narcissist, he or she, because there's some women narcissists. It's not just men. The majority of narcissists are men, but there are absolutely female women narcissists. He or she has to be right about everything. Things that they don't even know for sure to the point where they think they know it all. And we were having a basic conversation. It was so basic. We started talking about Chinese culture. I am half Chinese. My mother is first generation. Only one of us grew up with a Chinese mother. And if you did not grow up with a Chinese mother, who you have missed out on life. How can you debate Chinese culture with me? My mother's first generation. And he had made comments about that he knew XYZ. No, no, they don't like to be called that. I'm like, I'm sitting here telling you that that's not true. But he swore he was right. And to prevent me from continuing to argue about something that I knew I was right in, I was the one who had a Chinese, I'm a Chinese mother. I just said, let it go. I should have realized because that was two before I got married. I did not know much about narcissism. I did not know that this was something was off. I had no idea. That's why I'm sharing these tips. But I should have taken that as a red flag and be like, you know what? How can this man be right about everything? And sometimes you just kind of give in because it's not even worth the fight anymore. So, hence, number four, I don't know if you know this, but do you know that narcissists like to date successful people? They are naturally charming. And when you come across, let's say you got your stuff together, you're a successful woman or man, they like to cling on to you because you are a challenge for them to accomplish. They come across as very attentive, right? It looks like they're paying attention to your stories. Oh, you know what? You're such an interesting person. I'm really paying attention to you. They're paying attention to your stories and paying attention to you because they are trying to learn you to then use your vulnerabilities against you. Yeah, now this is a fine line because there are some people who are very interested in learning you because they genuinely want to get to know you. What is the fine line there? Because you're going to have to be able to you can't everybody who wants to get to know you is not a narcissist, okay? They might genuinely want to find out who the hell you are. You have to pay attention to how the questions are asked. You're having a normal conversation with somebody and you asking simple questions. Oh, you know what? I went to that school. Oh my goodness. And if they start going down a rabbit hole of like just way deep down into questions that might feel a little odd to you, pause. They might be trying to get information to use against you. And I'm not saying these are not tips for every situation. You remember what cartoon was that or superhero? Oh no, oh my goodness. It was Freddy Krueger. Remember when he was going around and chopping people up and wasn't he collecting lives, right? They were ended up in his body and his skin and all that. Remember if y'all too young to know Freddy Krueger, y'all please Google this. Please Google Freddy Krueger. What is it? Nightmare on Elm Street, right? That was the name of the. That is what a narcissist is doing. Oh my goodness, I just came up with that. They are collecting information to really, it's like a power thing. It's to use against you. It's to when you're in your most vulnerable moment, you might find that you can't be open with this person. You might find that your spirit is trying to tell you something. And that's something I had to learn way after. I never liked kissing my ex-husband. I did not like kissing him for whatever reason, probably the last several years of the marriage, probably last 10 years. My body was rejecting him. And I should have listened to that cue as well. There are so many cues that I missed. That's why I'm here. But either way, they are collecting your energy to use it against you one day. So be careful of what you share. That's why when I talk about my dating tips, do not overshare. Do not give somebody the key to you. Let them learn you through situations. Let them learn how you behave and meanwhile while they're learning how you behave and react to situations, you need to be paying attention and you need to be doing the same. Take the time to get to know somebody. Do not give somebody the key to your entire soul in a conversation. No, we don't do that. Stop oversharing. Tip number five, or hint number five, that you might be dating a narcissist, or how you can recognize a narcissist. They never admit fault. They will never admit fault. It's always your fault. It's like they're always right. They're always the victim. They're always going to divert the attention to away from them because they're always right. They're the smartest one in the room. They are the shiznick. They know everything. Okay. And this one is no different. I caught my ex-husband cheating on me. I caught him in a hotel. Y'all need to catch a cheater. I remember my dad said, "You could be working for the TV show Cheaters." He said, "Because my gosh, this was many years ago. I caught him too. This is many years ago. And it was just like that. It was amazing. It was nothing but the universe and God that allowed me to catch him cheating because, again, I am not the type of person that goes snooping. His so-called best friend, she was a female. She was at our wedding, and I caught them in a hotel together. And even though I had all the evidence sitting right there, y'all are in a hotel. I'm out here taking pictures like I'm a photographer of them going in a hotel together, leaving me the wife outside. I was his wife, leaving me outside. Do you know that was still my fault? Do you know that I was in the wrong for even catching them? My girlfriend was one of my girlfriends. She was with me when we busted them. He said, "Well, you have all the proof right now. You caught him in a hotel, going in a hotel with another woman." And I distinctly remember telling her, and this was probably 16 years ago. I looked at her and said, "No, I don't, because I know how he's going to flip this. He is going to flip this and say, it was all me. It was me. I was making it up. I didn't see what I saw." And I remember her asking me, "How?" Well, at the time, I still didn't know I was married to a narcissist. I said, "Girl, I don't know how he does it, but he does it." And she said, "Well, I'm gonna tell you what you got to do. You got to bring it to his email." So I did. And what I found was I would have never wished it on any woman or man. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I should have paid attention to my gut then. Now, this was something big. Cheating was something big. I caught him in a hotel, the hotel that we stayed at the night we got married, the hotel that our whole family stayed at the night we got married is where I caught him with a woman who witnessed our vows. At that time, y'all, I should have made the choice, a decision to go ahead and leave the marriage, but I didn't. I stayed in the marriage, but it was never the same after that for me. It was never the same. My trust had been violated. How could I have missed all of this? I was like, my gosh, I was a sucker for punishment. So the punishment continued. Let's go on to the next tip, shall we? They take everything personally. It is a personal attack, whether you are attacking them, their family, whatever, their job, their career, their choices. One thing I could tell you, I have over the years, I have learned how to communicate very, very well over the years to where I teach people and coach people on how to communicate. The thing about bringing things up, there's a way to bring things up. And in a healthy relationship, you will find that that person will be open to hearing you because you have then learned how to bring things up in a way that it's not an attack. But with the narcissist, no matter how you bring it up, you could sing it in a song. You can literally tap dance to it. You could do whatever you need to do, but it is an attack to them. They are very hypersensitive to any criticism. So I can teach you how to bring up issues to where in a healthy relationship, you will be heard. Your points will be validated. I do want you to learn how to bring up issues. The difference between somebody who might be a narcissist and who might not be a narcissist is the way they receive your input, the way they receive your feedback. And again, I'm assuming you are presenting. I'm not saying you say, "Oh my gosh, you always think, my God." Anybody's going to get defensive if you're coming across in an offensive way. But if I'm talking about you're bringing things up in a healthy way, babe, I was wondering if we can just have a heart to heart. I absolutely love how you do XYZ. I really love how you make me feel. I would like us to apply that same process or whatever to XYZ because this right here makes me feel a certain type of way. And I want to talk to you about it. You see how gently I brought that up? Somebody who is on the receiving end and who understands healthy communication will be open to hearing you out. Somebody who doesn't understand healthy communication, who feels like they are everything is an attack. It is always something wrong with them. It is always them. They are not going to hear what I just said. And you're going to know it because it's going to turn into you always got something to say. It's going to turn into something smart. It's going to turn into something negative, something that you had no intention in doing. And if you're dealing with any of these signs, you might be dealing with a narcissist. Again, I'm not here to diagnose anybody. I'm here to share simply with you what I have gone through and what I have seen some of my clients go through. You cannot outlove a narcissist. Narcissism is a mental disorder. It is something that they can't help but to do. Can a narcissist be cured? No, they cannot. But can they learn how to behave? We'll say behave better in a relationship. Yes, but it takes extensive therapy. It doesn't take you telling them they should do X, Y, and Z because I'm sitting here telling you now, they're not going to hear you. The light bulb is not going to come off in their head and be like, you know what, my partner's right. I am a narcissist. And some of the things I do is downright stupid. If you're waiting on that moment to come, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to come. And you're going to have to be okay with that if you choose to stay in a relationship with somebody who is a narcissist. Would I recommend you staying in a relationship with a narcissist? No, I wouldn't. Especially if you are not mentally strong, it's going to tear you apart. Even if you are mentally strong, it's still going to change parts of your personality. There's no way that I could have come out of that relationship without damage. So, how did my damage show up? I became an avoidant. And I didn't start off that way in a relationship. I grew up in a very happy home. My parents are still happily married. I had always had a secure relationship, a secure attachment style. I'd always had that. But when you're in a relationship with somebody, they make you question your integrity, they make you question your intelligence. There's no way in the world that you're going to come out of that relationship unharmed. Our son lives over there now. He is in 11th grade. He's over there strictly for football. We talk all the time. I go over there and I have lunch with him. You can see one of my stories in on my YouTube page. Us having lunch where I'll just drive out there and we'll just have a lunch date or dinner date in a car. Over the last several months, I will tell you that my son primarily for most of his life have lived with me. I have no mental disorder. I can tell you that I've seen changes in my child. I can see that he's not as happy. I want you to know that my door is always open for my child. So it's not me turning away my child. My child wants to stay for football. We've shared many tears about the situation, but he's mentally trying to push through. I delivered a child to him that was mentally strong. The only way you're going to be able to be in a relationship with a narcissist is you have to have mental power. You have to set very clear, strong boundaries, and you have to stick with them. I mean it. If you don't stick to your boundaries, you are going to head down a slippery slope of definitely needing my services in the future because I'm going to have to get you back to being in a healed position because you're going to need it. How many times is this person going to show you who they truly are? Your girlfriend's going to turn a deaf ear to you. Your guy friends are going to turn a deaf ear to you. You're not going to have anybody else to talk to. You're going to be talking to the wall because everybody's going to be sick and tired of hearing about the complaints, the issues, because they can see the writing on the wall, but you know something's wrong. And you're like, is it me or is it them? I have a free guide that if you look in the description below, because when you're dealing with the narcissist, click on this free guide. It's like 30 something page guide and it talks about what healthy communication looks like versus unhealthy communication. If any of those things resonate with you, like, use it for your own education, what healthy communication looks like. And if you know that's not what you have in your relationship, then what can you do? It's time to work on it. It's time to improve your communication because communication is the number one reason why relationships fail. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, y'all please like and comment. And if you have any topics you'd like me to cover in a future video, please leave a comment below. I will be happy to do a video addressing any questions you may have. If you're out here and dealing with any type of toxic relationship, y'all, my heart goes out to you. Just know that once you decide to leave that relationship, there is peace and there is joy on the other side. Y'all, till next time, y'all take care of yourselves.